2024 is going to be the biggest year for the iPad, seeing as we just got the best iPad Pro update in years, as well as the new M2 iPad Air, and based on 8 new leaked iPad identifiers, it looks like the entire iPad lineup will soon get updated. So let's jump right into the first one, which is the iPad 11. This, of course, is going to be an update to Apple's budget iPad 10 that they completely redesigned back in 2022 to match the rest of their modern iPad designs, but the only problem was the overpriced $450 price tag, which thankfully Apple just lowered down to $350 a couple of months back. Now, as far as the newly leaked iPad 11, we just got an awesome leak from Nicholas Alvarez, who discovered a bunch of iPad identifiers, 2 of which pointing to the iPad 11th gen with the A16 Bionic chip. That's awesome news because the current model has the A14, so we'll be jumping to the A16, which according to Geekbench is 23% faster in single-core performance, 28% faster in multi-core, and 38% faster in terms of the graphics. Keep in mind that last year, Apple didn't release a single iPad whatsoever, which Ming-Chi Kuo confirmed in September, and then in October, Mark Gurman said that the new iPads would launch in March of 2024, even adding more detail claiming that the entire lineup would get refreshed in 2024, including the new iPad 11 in the spring, but Apple instead chose to do a price cut of the iPad 10 and delay the new 11 even further. And then Nikkei Asia reported that this new iPad 11 would get delayed until the second half of 2024, which to me means that it'll be coming in September during Apple's iPhone 16 event, which is usually when Apple reveals their new base iPads. But one thing you need to keep in mind is that Apple updates their base iPad on a tick-tock schedule, so one year they'll update something about the design, and the next year they'll update the chip and basically nothing else, other than maybe better Wi-Fi or Bluetooth specs or some other minor details. This year's update is going to be all about that A16 chip for the same $350 price, which to me is a killer deal. The only problem is that the A16 chip doesn't support Apple's new AI features with Apple Intelligence, so if you're interested in that, you'll need to wait for the iPad mini 7, which is the second new leaked iPad we gotta talk about. But first, I wanna show you this. It's the new Wave electric toothbrush from our sponsor Laifen, which hands down brushes my teeth better than any other toothbrush I've ever used, including other electric ones, because it uses a new servo system technology with a powerful 6-watt motor, which is 3 times more powerful than competing brands like these $300 Oral-B and Philips toothbrushes. And that 6-watt motor powers their combined vibration and 60-degree oscillation, which is actually the brushing technique recommended by dentists. No joke, this gives you a whole nother level of clean that I've never felt before, and it's the reason why my wife and I have completely switched over to the laifen Wave, as well as my co-host Max, who liked it so much he purchased it for his wife and 3 kids, and our editor Ben and his wife as well, who say it's the best toothbrush they've ever had, especially since it's so much more compact and portable compared to his previous electric toothbrush. My favorite part is the design, which looks like something that Apple would have made, which you can see from the premium unboxing experience, and it uses high quality materials like this aluminum model, which looks and feels very premium, especially since it has an IPX7 waterproof design with no gaps for gunk to end up in, seeing as it uses a pressure-sensitive button that still works great after months of use. And I especially love the Apple-like magnetic fast charging, which charges in just 2.5 hours. You can also connect it to the Laifen app, which lets you fully customize the 3 different modes for different power and oscillation settings, and you can hold the button for 2 seconds to enter flight mode so it won't turn on accidentally. And the best part is the affordable price of only $69 for the white ABS model or $79 for the aluminum, which is my favorite, and it's only $10 for a 3-pack of new brush heads. But making it even better, Laifen is doing a huge 20% off discount for Amazon Prime Day, so definitely use the link in the description or pinned comment to order one today. Now looking at the next set of leaked iPad identifiers, we have iPad 16.1 and 16.2, which are the iPad mini 7 models, apparently coming with the new A17 Pro chip, which we currently have in the iPhone 15 Pro models. And yes, this means that the new iPad mini will support Apple Intelligence, which is really cool. Now, the current iPad mini 6 is actually my favorite iPad simply because of the small handheld size, which makes it really convenient and easy to hold, as well as being the perfect size for gaming and also super portable and comfortable for my kids to use. So it's the iPad that I chose to buy for my family. The only problem that I've personally noticed with it is the display, which has this weird jelly scrolling effect, but thankfully we got a leak that claimed that Apple is finally going to be fixing it for the new Mini 7. And as far as the display technology, don't expect it to get an OLED display this year because we got a supply chain leak pointing to 2026 being the year of the OLED iPad mini 8, so if you care about that, you might want to wait. Now, in terms of the release date, this one's a bit tricky because back in May, Mark Gurman said that the iPad mini isn't expected before late 2024 at the earliest, which means there's a chance it might not even be coming until the spring of 2025. And then in that case, I would think that the iPad mini 7 would come with the A18 Pro chip instead, seeing as it would be kind of weird to wait a few months until 2025 and still give it the A17 Pro, right? But no, I actually think that A17 Pro chip makes the most sense because back in March, we had a huge chip detail leak that revealed the chips which would go into future Apple devices, which included the A17 Pro chip going into the iPad mini 7. So that solidifies a 2024 release date in my view, likely in September or maybe October if Apple wants the iPad 11 to stand out by itself for a month or so. Now, we should definitely expect minor changes like Wi-Fi 6E, updated Bluetooth, new colors, etc. And there's even a chance it could support the Apple Pencil Pro, but I don't think it's likely considering the lower price point for this iPad. And we did have leaks pointing to upgraded front and rear cameras, although I don't think it's going to be getting a landscape camera since the iPad mini is too small to support proper keyboard cases. And now, with that said, let's move on to the third new iPad that Apple will be updating, and that's actually the M5 iPad Pro in both the 11 and 13-inch sizes, corresponding to the new leaked identifiers iPad 17.1 through 17.4. Yes, these iPads obviously won't be coming this year since the M4 iPad Pro just got released 2 months ago, and we know that Apple usually waits around 1.5 years between iPad Pro refreshes. For example, the M1 iPad Pro came in May of 2021, and then around 1.5 years later, we got the M2 iPad Pro in the fall of 2022, and then another 1.5 years later, we got the M4 iPad Pro a couple of months back in May of 2024. So that puts the new M5 iPad Pro launch in the fall of next year. So if for whatever reason you're holding off on the M4 models, whether it's due to finances or you're not happy with the new iPadOS 18, the M5 iPad Pro will be a good one to wait for. Now, I definitely would not expect any display changes at all, seeing as we just got the new tandem OLED, and it's, in my opinion, the best display technology ever. So I personally don't expect any display technology changes for the next 4.5 to 6 years on the iPad Pro. And that's exactly why I believe it's a great time to buy the current M4 iPad Pro, which coincidentally is already on sale on Amazon, so check out the link in the pinned comment below for that deal. For the M5 iPad Pro, we should probably expect them to get Wi-Fi 7 finally, probably also an upgrade to Thunderbolt 5 ports, and other spec upgrades. But there were actually a couple of major features that we were expecting for the M4 iPad Pro that never showed up. The biggest one that was rumored for years was MagSafe wireless charging being built into the back of the iPad Pro, which would work through the Magic Keyboard as well, which was coupled with dual stacked MagSafe coils. And we actually had a bunch of patents showing off this technology, even new Magic Keyboards with charging coils built in, but no, we didn't get any of that. So I'm thinking that Apple decided to hold off on MagSafe charging until the M5 iPad Pro, and it would also include reverse wireless charging, so you could charge your iPhone, your AirPods, or other devices right on the back of your iPad Pro or the Magic Keyboard case. We also had an interesting leak of a new iPad Pro with a physical MagSafe 3 connector, which would free up the main port for accessories, but of course, we didn't get that either, so I think that could have also been delayed until the M5. But other than those features, which might not even come at all, there aren't many changes to expect for the new M5 iPad Pro, so I recommend just buying the M4 model now. And finally, we have the iPad Air 7, which Apple is also working on, but it unfortunately wasn't included in the list of iPad identifiers, so my thought is that this one won't be coming until 2026. But when it does, it'll be huge because I think it'll be the first non-Pro iPad to get the new OLED display before that then gets passed down to the mini and then the regular iPad later on. And on top of that, I think that the new iPad Air 7 will come with a full redesign, seeing as we've had literally the same design since the A14 iPad Air in 2020, which was replaced by the M1 Air in 2022, and now the new M2 model that came a couple of months back, all with the same design. So definitely expect a full redesign for the new Air 7, but not until 2026. So with that said, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know which iPad you're waiting for down in the comments, and thanks to Laifen for sponsoring this video. Definitely check out that link because it's amazing. Click above to subscribe and check out one of those videos there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.